If you would like to see some unearthly scenes, watch this video to the end. Hello everybody, I know it's been a while, but today we're in the road again and we're going to the Grand Canyon of New York, Watkins Glen. It's located in New York's Finger Lakes region. Watkins Glen opened to public in 1863 and was privately owned until 1906. There's a pool and a campsite on premises and of course a beautiful hiking trails. This area used to be home to Native American tribe called Seneca. Seneca thrived as a powerful nation in the region. By 1600s, their villages dotted the landscape from Watkins Glen to Genesee River Valley. During the years when Watkins Glen was privately owned, there was a resort on its property. On July 7th in 1935, due to a large amount of rain, there was a flood in Watkins Glen. It took several years to repair what was damaged during the storm. Civil War hero and landscape artist James Hope first came to Watkins Glen in 1871 and fell in love with it. He became a resident artist in later years. Here's one of his paintings of Watkins Glen. Now there are two ways to explore this trail. So one way, you just walk up all the way up to the highest point from the parking lot and then take the shuttle back, or you could take the shuttle all the way up and then just walk down. We decided to take the shuttle up and walk down because we thought it'd be a little easier than walking up. But what we've heard from other people, the views are a lot better hiking up the trail than coming down. So that's something to consider when you come here. It starts off as a little creek, and little that you know that just not even a couple of feet down, you're gonna have one of the most amazing views, and there will be waterfalls and a lot of beautiful scenery. We're not even a quarter mile down, but you already start seeing the canyon shaping itself, and the water's becoming a little much stronger and wider. Like you see, the little stream we were showing before already became somewhat of a river. And the scenery is definitely changing. The more we walk down, the more we submerge into this beauty. You could tell that the side walls of the canyon are getting a lot larger, and you see a lot of vegetation on the side and those beautiful formation. I could tell this place suffers from erosion as well. See, some of those tree roots are totally exposed, but you know, and luckily the stone formation here keeps it together. But who knows, another strong torrential downpour and those roots will get destroyed, and those trees could fall down to the gorge. This gorge is about 400 feet deep, cut through rock by Glen Creek, a stream that was left hanging when glaciers of ice age deepened Seneca Valley. This gorge gets deeper and deeper. It's amazing how with a long period of time the water can actually cut through the rock like that and make this formation. I'll be honest, I have never been to the Grand Canyon in Vegas, but this is stunning and amazing. The views are so unreal. It's funny, if you look at the top, this looks like a little pond. You can't even see the stream below. And of course, you see how the little waterfalls start taking shape, so there's a little more drops here. It's just amazing how, over time, how those canyons evolve and how those natural rock formations shape. It's kind of hard to describe, honestly. You have to see this for yourself. Curious how that log got there. I wonder if it's the way he placed it there, or did it naturally actually just fell down. I'm pretty amazed how well kept those trails are, and how they kind of carved them out in those in those rock formations. So you get an awesome pathway just to get through. There's also our upper side of the trail too, but it was currently closed. But I think the lower trail, you get a lot better. You get to experience this a lot better, I think, because I think on the top you kind of probably have some nice views, but here I think it's amazing. Look at those views; they're unreal. It feels like you're on a totally different planet. And the more down we walk, the more this beauty just unveil itself. This lower trail does give you a great opportunity to submerge into this beauty. You feel like it's all around you, and I think it's just remarkable. One thing I would say, this trail does have a good amount of steps, so it could be challenging at times, especially in the very hot weather. I would probably suggest doing this in the fall or the spring, so the weather, the temperature is like around 60s, 70s, maybe even 50s, depending I guess on the season. But I wouldn't do it in a very hot day, because I can only imagine what it's like. And here's another little pond here. It's interesting how they form in certain areas, and the rest of it is like a stream. And there in the distance you see a little waterfall. And one thing I would say, you don't want to do this when it's colder out, because you do get you won't get soaked, but you get wet. Your clothes get a little moist here, so you probably wouldn't appreciate it as much in the colder weather. Another thing to keep in mind, it is a little cooler the more you submerge into this gorge, because one reason is not much sun gets here. The other reason is you're surrounded by the rock formations, so you're going to be a little colder here. So if you're in the 50s in town, but then you come here, you might be at 45s or 40s. Depends. It all depends, I guess, on the day. I guess everybody has their own tolerances for cold. I mean, in my personal opinion, I would say 60 to 70 is probably a perfect time to hike this. But again, everybody has different perspective on things, so just my suggestion. And here's another little waterfall here. So there's probably a little river or a stream up there that kind of empties out here. So this one you have to be really more careful with, because there's a lot more mist coming out of that one, and you have a lot of higher chances of getting soaked. There are a lot of nice places here to make us to stop and take stunning pictures at. I've lost count. I mean, I've had my camera out pretty much the whole time of how many. I lost count of how many times I wanted to take a picture. It's just remarkable what this place has to offer. I could be wrong, but this looks like the artwork by James Hope that we showed earlier in this video. What a beautiful scene. It's just simply amazing. There are a number of those little stone bridges that go right through the trail, and I bet you they were built in early 1900s when this place was open as a privately owned resort, because you could tell by the way they're built. If you guys know, please comment below, but I'm suspecting they were built back in that era and they still stand strong. You can only imagine how hard is it to maintain this whole trail. There's probably a lot involved here, but they're doing a great job, I'll be honest. I mean, everything looks pristine and pretty safe to walk on. We're gonna go into this little cave here, and I bet you this cave was cut out in early 1900s. And the reasoning for my suspicion here is there's no light, and this is completely dark in here. I think if this was built nowadays, they would have probably ran the electricity and they had a little light here so you could see. This point the trail gets a little narrow and slippery. One thing I would suggest if you're going to hike or walk this trail is to wear hiking boots or sneakers with good traction, because it does get slippery. It does get slippery on the staircases here too. So you want something with good traction. Of course, exercise caution when you're walking through them. Here's some more of this natural beauty. I just can't believe how this formation actually happened. It was not human made. It was just naturally formed into this beautiful stream. Stunning and amazing. Honestly, I'm at loss for words how to describe this. And here's some slippery staircases again. Just I wanted to point this out. And we're almost at the end of the trail. We actually almost walked the whole thing, and see how some people who are starting around here, they have to hike all the way up. See how the staircases go up. But the good thing about this trail, you're not constantly going up the staircases. They're actually like a little trail, then they go up to another staircase, so you do get a little bit of a break. So it might not be as bad, honestly. But like again, we decided to go down instead of going up, and oh, this is just amazing. Honestly, this is like an artwork, natural artwork, stunning. At this point, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on this adventure, and thanks for watching. Until next time.